You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the August 8th, 2023 meeting of the LaPorte County Drainage Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Call the meeting to order of the August 8th, 2023 Drainage Board meeting. Have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Joe Cuson is absent. Hugh Glasgow.
Here.
Tony Hendricks.
Here.
Connie Graham Marosa.
Present.
Jeff Minster.
Present.
Pat Vance.
Here.
Brad Adamski.
Here.
Approval of minutes from last month's meeting.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First item on the agenda is Wagner Estates 2 Urban Drain Certificate of Assessments.
Okay, so the 30-day time period has passed, so the board just has to sign the certificate of assessments, and that goes with the schedule of assessments that I turn into the auditor for the billing for next year.
And to confirm, so no objections received.
Yeah, no objections, no public comment, so it's just a motion to approve and sign.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Everybody needs to sign that. Second one on the agenda is the Wade Ditch Jerry Eddy Pole Barn.
Here.
This is the individual that we tabled, and I understand he's now in front of the BZA for approval for the pole barn that was built prior to permitting.
Correct.
So our recommendation is to allow him to go to the BZA, and if the BZA approves it, he can come back here and ask
I understand.
what the board's pleasure is.
Well, I have no problem with it. I've lived in the area my whole life, and
Hugh.
Mike.
I've lived in the area my whole life, and if that ditch ever gets cleaned, the spoils would go on the other side anyway. And Dick Welsh hasn't got any problem with it, and I have no problem in this case granting the variance.
Well, we can't grant the variance. I mean,
Well, you know, a permission for infringement on the easement.
right, but as Tony said, before it even gets to the point of this board either allowing it or not, he's got to get approval from the county to have built what he's already built. And that's a zoning issue and a building commission issue, not yet a drainage board issue. If they approve it, then yeah, he can come back and we can grant permission to be on the easement, but he's not even there yet.
So we got to table it again?
Yep. You're scheduled for
15.
So he's before the BZA this month. So
I move that we table this till next meeting.
Second.
Second.
All right, we'll move on. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Move on to Rodman Ditch, Tom Parker crop damage.
I've been emailing that situation, and the current status is the state soil scientist came up, state chemist came up and took samples, and it will take a couple months for results to come back from what I've been told, and so we are awaiting those results.
Anybody got any questions on that?
Well, I'm interested to see what the chemist says. I just didn't see any damage beyond the easement when I looked at it.
Yeah, I did go out and do a field inspection and took GPS shots and photos, and there was no damage beyond the 75-foot easement that I found.
So we want to table this till we hear from the Office of State Chemist.
Yes.
Motion to table.
Second.
Second.
Moving on to Galena Meadows subdivision drainage easement maintenance.
Okay, so I got a request from a property owner in Galena Meadows subdivision to clean a drainage easement So I want to get a motion to put that out for bid today to come back for the September meeting. I have specs if you want to look at them and pictures. It's just one drainage easement. There's a picture on the back. Kalina Meadows is a subdivision on 1000 North.
Little update. This is an easement we've cleaned what?
Yeah, we
Three times?
We clean it periodically
So
over the years.
the cattails grow up pretty quick, and we try to keep it clean, and so they can mow it as best they can. And the neighbors usually really good with keeping it clean. It's their drainage assessment.
Yeah, if I got about $2,600 in that fund, if I don't have enough to cover the bid, I'll see if I have some in general drain improvement fund. If I don't have enough funds, it might have to wait for spring. But I've told the property owner that.
How long is that? Quarter mile?
270 feet. It's 270.
I hope $2,600 is going to cover that.
Yeah, I do
Hope
too.
we're digging for that.
Mobilization costs are high, but yeah, hopefully it'll cover that.
Yeah, we just need to keep it clean so it keeps flowing and the cattails don't keep growing up in it, and they keep maintain as best they can.
Would that be a candidate for bank spraying, so we don't have to get an excavator in there? Because I know those cattails are tenacious.
Yeah, but not in that residential yard.
Yeah, it's an easement between
High profile,
two lots.
nice yards.
Do you have a motion? We get a motion for her to receive bids to get that cleaned.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Alrighty, moving on. Monthly reports, Hudson Lake.
Georgette Joyce, 7299 East Hudson Point Lane, New Carlisle. So the lake level, I think I just died. Oh, is it working? Okay. The lake level is now at 8.4 inches above the weir. That's good. We've gotten some inches of rain over the last few weeks. We have been hovering between 3 and 4 inches. We're still waiting on the DNR for the drain management agreement. Brad, have they reached out to you at all regarding that?
I haven't received anything.
Okay. And we're doing a second treatment of starry stonewort. It's an invasive species that can choke a lake. So we just approved it last night, and that'll be happening shortly. The public sewer meetings, so though we're not driving that, they're having public meetings on August 24th and 26th for the Saucony and Hudson Lake residents to answer questions and sign off on easements. And they're also committed to doing a one-on-one property visits for any owners who wish. And they're continuing the efforts to close the gap on the funding. And we hope to launch our new website this month. Hopefully sooner rather than later. We'll have a new logo. We'll have photo contests and all kinds of things to engage the people. We'll be putting all the documents that we've collected over time, have news and events, and the reference library. And we'll also put our measurements for the lake will be on there. So it'll include the CocoRAS, which is a manual measure, the Towhawk, which is our equipment measure, and the NOAA data. So it'll be really nice. You'll be able to see it in graphs. So getting real excited about it. And we'll send you a blast when it's ready so you can take a look.
Alrighty, anybody got any questions?
Is the drain open now?
No, it's been closed since September of 2022 because we've had the drought. So
But it does work? It's functionable?
yeah, we had serviced it at that time. Yes.
Thank you.
Anything else? Alright, thank you. Brad, you got anything?
Nothing today.
Tony?
Quick catch up on the Sure Ditch at Indiana 104. I did find the data, and we pulled the data for the pipe underneath the state road, and I have talked to NDOT, and I have talked to the city of LaPorte. They are very agreeable to helping us work with that pipe up on the Sudlow property. So I'm working through with Sudlow's and how we can get that fixed, and some discussion on NDOT on their pipe under the road. So still working on it as much as I can.
Tony, I looked at this 2 months ago, and the pipe was 7/8 full, and then you must have done something because a week later it was like a third full.
We haven't done anything, but maybe NDOT did. But yeah, we're working on it, because if the NDOT pipe works as well as it should, and it's kept clean. The next choke point is the Sudlow pipe, and City of LaPorte is very willing to help us work and help Sudlow too. So we'll probably get there shortly.
The Sudlow has 2-foot culvert. The
Yes.
city of LaPorte has 4-foot culvert, and it's kind of a bottleneck.
That's what we're working on. Get that culvert upsized and put at the right elevation. That's all I have.
I did have one thing. Sorry. There is a bit of litigation. It doesn't directly involve the drainage board, but Christine's been called as a witness to verify or validate some documents from the drainage board's records. I've been sitting in those meetings with her. The hearing's coming up at the end of the month. She'll be called to testify. I'll likely attend that with her just to make sure nothing spins over into drainage board jurisdiction.
Okay. Did we ever get anything figured out on that somewhere where the farmer filled in the drain or the homeowner filled in the drain and was flooding the fields up that way? The county county highway was going to take care of that. Did we get that taken care of?
That was the Castro.
On 800 North.
800 North.
So I can report that me and the county attorney, Scott Paycheck, went out to visit the couple. We sat down with them, talked to them. They had said that they had lawyered up. Mr. Paycheck tried on numerous occasions to call their attorney, and no callbacks. I can double check again this morning, but I would have assumed at that point that we've made many contacts, and I can have Mr. Paycheck send something to Mr. Adamski, and then we can proceed because we're going to have to do what we have to do with that.
I think that may be something.
That's was a comfort. This 800 North.
But do you know who their attorney was? You said they lawyered up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Paycheck had actually knew who it was and made several attempts. So maybe we just need to have you two attorneys talk.
I'll reach out
And
to
then-
Scott.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was either.
yeah.
No, 800 North is.
So I talked to the homeowner, or the property owner, who is Tom Vader, and
Oh,
basically told him it's kind of stalled out on the county side because the highway had some changeover, and I don't know where all that was
Yeah,
when I talked to him.
So is that the same property?
No, 800 North is up
Okay.
Yeah,
Springfield
this is
Township.
Springfield
So I went back up there and looked at it again, and I did some study on the water flow, and it will drain to the west, but barely. And the owner did fill in the drain on the west side of the county road. I did reach out again to the homeowner. He has not responded to anything from any of us. I have his contacts, I have his email, I have his phone. He's not too happy because of a septic scenario he's got, but at this point I believe Vader is going to take it upon himself to make sure that he will respond, because we've done everything we can to ask him to respond.
Right, and I believe Christine even gave him the correct citations as far as the procedure that he can take to remedy it. Because I know at one point Tom asked me if I could represent him. I said it'd be better if I came in as a drainage board attorney if we needed to be. So I know at that point he was seeking other counsel unless he was going to do it himself. But yeah, it's in their hands right now to push it forward.
So we hope that if Vader, the owner, actually does something legally, it gets his attention, because I believe the county highway will definitely help us put a pipe in there again and let him fill back over so we can cross the fields. We don't care. We just want to make sure the water keeps flowing. We just need to get his attention somehow. He is completely not responding.
Yeah, so like Brad and Tony said, when I talked to Tom Bader, he's got the petition and the code. He's gonna try to submit that, or at least contact, well, the petition requires him to contact the owner prior to submitting the petition to us. So he's at that point from last that I talked to him.
He filled in the county,
Well,
right?
It's not a county ditch. It's just a very shallow ditch between two fields that he filled in to cross, and it's way off the county right away. It's probably
off the
50,
county.
75
Okay.
feet off the county right away. So we can't go out there unless he lets us, and I'm sure he will, knowing that we're not trying to stop him from crossing his fields. We just want to put a pipe in there, and the county, I think, has got some pipe laying around. It wouldn't take us much. We just can't send our equipment out there.
Okay. I guess I didn't realize it wasn't our easement.
Yes. The county did clean all the ditches on our easement and they look really nice.
Okay.
Just doesn't go anywhere.
Any reports from the joint boards?
KRBC met last week, July 28th, here in LaPorte. And what we need to show, I guess Hugh would be happy, is we're doing lots more spraying. It's working well. They are getting the same kind of accolades that we normally get, plus they're getting some other people are concerned why the spraying is killing weeds, and Scott Pilaf, the executive director, is helping them understand how important that is, because we are killing the invasives and we're leaving the native species, and we don't need trees growing back up on the ditch and the river where we've cleaned off. Costs a lot of money, and spraying is very cheap and very effective. So as far as LaPorte County is concerned, their spraying is really helping us out on the Kankakee River and keeping that maintained.
Tony, I was amazed at the spraying that they did. They had to do it from barge or boat or something, but
Yes.
I had soybeans right next to there. I didn't see any crop damage.
Thank you. Well, most people, I believe 99% of the people are very happy and they understand what the spraying does on the Kankakee River. And yes, they were doing some of the barge. So one of the side notes out of there is the River Basin Commission is exploring owning their own barges, because we have lots of excavators, but we don't have people who own barges. So if they own barges, they can have them taken to the river where they need them, use them, and put them back. Because most excavators, anytime they bid on the Kankakee, you're confined to a couple people. If you had your own barges, they could use our barges, do whatever they need to on the Kankakee, spraying, cleaning trees out, and then put them back. So that might help us keep prices down on the Kankakee River, that we do not stuck with two bidders and we get people with excavators to use the barges. That was a pretty neat move that they came up with.
Yeah,
That's
good
all.
idea.
We don't have a 4-county drainage board until September. So, okay, moving on to claims. Tree man west arm bull ditch.
I have
$50.
one claim from the tree man for the beaver trapping and beaver removal from November, December, and March, and a dam removal in April. So that total only came to $150, and that'll come out of the bull ditch fund to the tree man. It's Dennis Mann that does the trapping.
Okay. A motion to accept the claims.
So move.
Second.
Public comment. Any public comment? Okay, we'll adjourn the meeting then. Our next meeting will be September 12th at 8:30 in the county complex room right here. Thanks for coming.